Welcome to Hard Hats and Horizons, the podcast where we dig deep into the construction and economic development shaping the future of Dallas-Fort Worth. We bring you insights from industry leaders and visionaries who are driving growth in North Texas. From construction projects to industry trends and insights, we cover it all. So grab your hard hat and join us as we explore the people and projects shaping the skyline of DFW. Now, here is your host, Andrea Pender.
Okay, welcome to the Hard Hats and Horizons podcast. We are going to get started today with John Riggins. He is the president at Talley Riggins. And I feel like I've known you for a long time, but hopefully I get to dig in and learn even more about you today. So I want you to kind of talk about how you got started and then how you ended up where you're at today.
You want to see how deep we can go here.
That's
let's
it.
go way back. So graduating high school, looking forward to the future, I kind of made the decision I want to go in the Marine Corps. And so I tried to enlist in the Marine Corps, went through all the testing while all my buddies were applying to colleges. And turns out I was not a fit because I had asthma as a kid.
Oh.
So I basically got disqualified. So I was sitting there thinking, okay, I guess I'm going to go to college. So Texas Tech let me in, thank goodness. I was a range and wildlife management major.
That's fun.
Wanted to be a federal game warden.
Okay.
And the further I got in that major, I loved the major, but the more I got into it, the future wasn't really what I saw my life being down the road. So I bumped around a couple of majors, and then I found out that there was a construction engineering major at Texas Tech. And so me and a couple of guys that I knew, one from high school and one from my fraternity, we got into that program. And 6 wonderful years later, I graduated Texas Tech. So I did a couple of victory laps. So my father is an electrical contractor here in town, and I grew up working for him in the field. If I wasn't in school, I was pretty much cleaning out ditches behind a ditcher, or pulling wire, or gluing pipe, so I've always had it. I've always been around it, and it's a fun industry. So when I saw that major, it just made sense. So sent out resumes to the top 25 contractors in DFW, and I got a call back from Hill and Wilkinson.
Okay.
I got a call back from who was at the time called Hubert Hunt and Nichols, which is now AECOM Hunt.
Okay.
And I interviewed with those two, and went to work for Hill and Wilkinson as a project engineer in May of 2000.
Okay. Okay.
Funny fact, my business partner now, Doug Talley, he's the one that hired me over at Hill and Wilkinson.
Okay, interesting.
So kind of
Nice.
fun, right?
Yeah.
So did 10 years in operations, 10-ish years in operations at Hill, project engineer, project manager. And the guys at Hill and Wilkinson came to me and said, hey, we see a skill in you that you would be really good at business development. And so I said, what does that mean? And they said, well, hey, you see that guy over there? His name's Darren Wilcox. Just go attach yourself to his hip and just figure out what he's doing. And, eventually you'll grow your own network, and you'll kind of figure out the roadmap. And so that's what I did. So I did that for a couple of years at Hill. I left there in 2011 and went to work for a company based out of El Paso, general contractor, CF Jordan at the time. It's now called Jordan Foster. And joined back up with Doug at another general contractor based here in Dallas in 2014. So we did 4 years there together, explosive growth, market diversification. And we just decided, hey, we can write our own ticket here and do this ourselves. So Talley Riggins was born out of a crazy idea.
And you guys just celebrated your 7th
7 years.
birthday?
Yeah. Feels like it was
Anniversary.
yesterday, right?
Yeah.
7 years. Got 19-year-old son, 17-year-old son, 14-year-old daughter, and a 17-month-old grandson.
Okay.
So things have changed in the Riggins household in the last 7 years.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, there's so many eyes on you, and you don't know it until you hear stories like what I'm about to tell you.
Okay, great.
And so I feel like, I was with an engineering firm for years and years, and then moved to the subworld. And so I was just watching you guys, and I was just kind of, what are they doing? What are they up to? And I know I've told you guys both this, and probably even James, but from the outside looking in, you guys were doing it all right. You weren't just trying to jump in a market sector and hope you're going to stay afloat. You would hire the person that was an expert who could then help like build that market sector. And then you would do it again. And I'm like, man, like everybody needs to be taking notes because there's other contractors out there who are like, oh, I'm gonna jump into this market sector. And then they put this 21-year-old kid fresh out of college. And I'm like, it's not gonna work. Like, it's not gonna work. You need to do what Talley Riggins is doing. Find the expert, hire them, and then, grow it. They will come, whatever the phrase. And so just from the outside, I'm like, gosh, these guys really, they've taken the time. They know what they want to do, and then they act on it and make it happen. So it's cool to watch from the outside.
I'm extremely flattered with you telling me that. It's the risk that comes along with hiring a well-seasoned professional, the cost,
Yep.
making sure that person's a culture fit. It's just a huge risk, and it'd be much easier to hire a young man or young lady to come in and train them your way. But
Yep.
it's almost immediate when you bring that
Yes.
that high-powered individual comes in that knows the market, the market knows him, and there's
Yep.
a learning curve there.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch and like kind of compare and look. And we want to do work with these people. These people, it might be a little tricky, So it's been fun to watch just from the outside.
Thanks,
Looking in. Mhm.
Social
Yeah.
media, it makes it look like you're all over the world.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been fun.
Cool. Okay, so let's see. What are some key moments or challenges that you've had in your career? And it can be Talley Riggins, it can be 20 years ago, it can be whatever you want to, however you want to answer that question.
One that I hit on already was the transition from operations into sales, right? So you go to the wife and you say, hey, I've got this opportunity. I'll be later some evenings, but I can stay around and help with the kids in the mornings, and the hours just kind of change a little bit. And but the knowledge base of trying to figure out how to navigate and convince you to hire me to build your building, that was a big challenge for me.
It probably also was super helpful because you were in the field. I mean, I was not in the field, so I can't answer those questions. So I call people like you unicorns. If you've been out in the field and you can do business development, like you get both sides of it.
That was a trait that I had where I could lay out a piece of paper and we could draw a site plan up, or we could figure out, okay, how can we make this site work versus somebody that didn't have that knowledge, or construction schedules, or one-time costs. Costs are changing so fast right now, I can't even keep up. But yeah, it's that having that field knowledge definitely helps.
I know, I mean, so many times, anytime that there's a person out in the field that, is kind of good with people, I'm like, I snatch them up, put them under my wing, and I'm like, ooh, how can I teach them how to do more business development? Because that's ultimately how we're going to win more work, and how you can kind of move up a little bit. Right. So, yeah. What are some things that motivated you, or some lessons that you have learned along the way?
Never burn a bridge. You can agree to disagree. You guys don't have to be friends on the weekends, but never burn a bridge. Treat everybody with respect, and it's always going to come around. And it happens to this day. I'll bump into people all the time. I'm like, you remember when we got into it that time? And you could have gone scorched earth, and you didn't. You just did the right thing, and you handled it professionally. You moved on down the road, and people remember that. And it's back to time to one of our core values, the respect for people. Yeah, I tell my kids that too. Never burn a bridge.
No, I mean, it's a big giant world out there, but it's also a real small one when you start seeing these people on repeat. So, what about mentorship? Have you been in like an official mentorship program or just unofficial? Have you had some mentors?
I always had men and women that poured into me. As a project manager, Hill and Wilkinson had this complicated profit projection system back then. Now I think it's all kind of automated now, but it was something Luther Hill had come up with that was multiple Excel spreadsheets tied to each other. And if that bottom right-hand number on that cover sheet was off by a penny, then you've got a mistake. And I would go to Cindy Cox, who's not with us anymore, but I just walked into Cindy's office, like, I've been looking at this for an hour and I cannot find it. She said, why did you spend an hour here? And she'd find it in 2 seconds. And so there was some of the support team at Hill that did that for me. There was Dick Johnson, he was my senior project manager at the time when I was in transition from project engineer to project manager. Heck of a mentor. And he just had that knack of knowing when to tell you to figure it out or when to take you under his wing and coach you. And both of those are great lesson learning methods as long as it's the right situation. And he just always knew, he was just really good at it. Dick now he came out of retirement. He works with us now.
Nice.
He's a senior PM. He's
Nice.
a great mentor to our younger guys.
Yeah. And I mean, that's huge. I feel like that mentor person is missing in so many scenarios. So you're lucky that you got him, snagged him back out of retirement.
Doug was another one, my partner now. Rob Dixon, Terry Swanson, these were guys I all worked under at Hill and Wilkinson. Just great guys. Still keep in touch with them personally. Watch their families grow up over the years. And, they all own their own various businesses now too. So it's just kind of fun to get together and tell war stories.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice. I feel like mentorship is a big part of everybody's life these days. And whether it's a formal or informal, you can all look back and be like, man, they really helped me do X, Y, Z, you know? So.
And I try to do that for like the Real Estate Council's mentor program. And I every time feel like I'm not really giving that individual what they deserve. I get some kind of feedback from them that just, whoa, maybe I am giving back to them, right? And there's been young women, there's been young men, and I keep in touch with all of them.
Yep.
And it's fun to watch their journey.
Yeah.
And it's just candid questions, right? Well, have you seen this? What would you do here? Or I've got a boss that does this. And, just give honest, candid feedback.
Right. Well, and you think like anybody could give them that answer, but they can't. They're looking for people with your expertise, like help me out with this. So that's nice that you do that you do that program.
I try.
Yeah.
And our young guys too that work with us, my door's always open. I could do a better job of just grabbing them and saying, hey, let's go grab breakfast. Let's go grab lunch. But I feel that they know that if they need something, the door's always open.
That's great.
And of course, we always pick up our phones. You don't really have a choice.
Right. What about, is there something that's been unique or surprising in your journey to get to where you're at now?
Not surprising, but unique would be the support of my wife.
Oh.
The encouragement from my parents, the encouragement from her parents, the encouragement from my friends and the network, even guys that I compete against. There's a handful of general contractors in this town. Yeah, on bid day, we can't stand each other. But then one of us is going to win, and the rest of us dust ourselves off, and then we go grab a beer and we talk about different challenges that we're seeing in the market. Construction costs and that kind of stuff never really comes up. But as far as challenges I think there's a lot of people dealing with subgrade preparation challenges right now in the market, and just getting together, just kind of figuring out, hey, how can we get better at what we're doing? So we take care of our customers. We have less risk moving forward for the 10-year tail, and just be better. TR, we're always focused on excellence. You're never going to achieve it, but you're always striving to get to it, right?
Okay, so moving on to kind of some industry-specific things. What's your perspective on some industry trends or challenges that you guys are going through right now?
Well, newsflash, labor numbers. It's a lot in the technical trades, the MEMPs. There's a couple of market segments that are pulling a lot of those technical trades in, which leaves guys like me that are, we're not in that mission critical space or the real technical stuff. And so we're left with less skilled trades and more warm bodies per se. So that can get your production down. So that's why I'm leaning in with Texo on trying to we've been trying to do it for 30 years, get into the high schools and talk to them about the trades. But I think we're making some progress. And I think with this task force that Melanie and the Texo team have put together, I think we can make a difference.
Okay, so you mentioned you have 4 kids?
3 kids and a grandson.
3 kids. Okay, how old are your kids?
19-year-old son, 17-year-old son, 14-year-old daughter.
Okay, so are we encouraging them for college, trade school? What are you doing here?
Great question.
Yeah.
I encourage my kids, period.
Great answer.
I don't try to steer them. Will I support them going to college? Absolutely. And I would love for them to join my fraternity, right? Whatever, kind of go the same path that I did. But for instance, my 19-year-old, he's extremely intelligent. When he's focused on something, he can learn anything. He can regurgitate all these crazy facts. I'm like, how do you know this stuff? But college isn't his jam.
Yeah.
And so he tried to, so obviously had a kid. And it's like, okay, son, you got to go, you got a family to support now. What are you going to do? So I helped him get a job with Collin County Corrections
Oh, nice.
jail.
Yeah.
And he was working nights, and he said, man, I think it lasted about 6 months. And
That'd be tough.
I met him going to work as he was coming in from work. And so we grabbed a coffee, and he said, what, I can't handle this anymore. It's tough. I don't get to see my kid enough. I don't get to see my fiance enough. What's it look like to work for you? So I lined it out for him, and he said, all right, what would it look like to work for Pop? Pop's my dad. And so I lined that up for him. And so he chose to go interview with my dad,
Love it.
his granddad.
Yeah,
And my dad called me after the interview, and he said, even though he's my grandson, I wouldn't have let that young man leave my office without having an offer letter in his hand.
Oh, that's
He's
great.
extremely sharp. And so that's been, I'm thinking, about 6 months now, and he was actually working on one of my projects. He
Okay.
got 3 generations of Rigginses in
Oh,
the same
I love it.
project. But
Yeah, I hope you got a picture of this.
I did.
Okay, good.
He's he's enjoying it. I can't quite peel the onion layers back to figure out what he's actually learning,
Yeah.
but he's enjoying it. He's on time. I mean, I'm impressed. So I think he's going to stick with it.
Nice.
Now the middle son, he's going the college route.
Okay.
He's going to be a Red Raider.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
he's talking construction, so obviously I'm not going to. I mean, kind of crazy. 'Cause It's a tough business, but
But we love it.
we love it.
Yeah.
Right? And then the daughter, she's kind of talking esthetician,
Okay.
the beauty world, and I've learned a lot about that because of her. And then my oldest boy's fiance, she's an esthetician, and so yeah, I mean that's a great career there too.
It really. I have a friend of mine who left the corporate world during COVID and went to esthetician school, and she owns her own place. She's on her own, and she's living the dream. So
I've told them I'll set you up, help set you up with the salon once you build your clientele up, and
Yeah.
you can kind of write your own ticket there.
It's so interesting because I mean I laugh and say that I was brainwashed before I was born that I was going to go to Purdue, and that's the only option. That's the only college that you're allowed to go to. And so, we don't have kids. And so it's like, gosh, like we're in this industry and we see the need for these skilled trades. And it's like, gosh, but I loved every minute about Purdue. But then how cool would it be to go to trade school and not have $1 million zillion worth of debt and then, maybe you open your own company with the help of a parent or something. So I think it's an interesting time. I would love to have a crystal ball.
I don't know the mechanical and plumbing trades as much as I do the electrical, but you think about Kate, right? So 19-year-old, comes out as an electrician's apprentice. I'm not going to say what he's making but he's making good money, and benefits are available to him. But within 5 years, he's eligible to sit for his journeyman's license test, right? And then in another 5 years after that, he's eligible to sit for his master's electrician's.
Wow.
And get your master electricians in this business, you can write your own ticket.
And that could be at the age of 29.
There you go.
Wow. That's cool.
It's not easy,
Sure.
but that's the timing, right? That's the regulations.
Uh-huh.
I probably ought to verify that. I know the 5-year one. I know the journeyman, but I think master is 10 years total. So.
That's pretty neat. Well, and people like to work with their hands, I mean, and I feel like there's a big group of kids that were, college is the only option. That's what you have to do. And they miss that, they want to tinker. They want to work on stuff. So they might have like project car in the garage or something, but are they happy 40 hours a week in the office? So yeah, it's interesting how that was such a big push. And then now we're like, oops, maybe we pushed it a little bit too much. Okay, let's see. Is there any kind of actionable advice that you have for anybody, maybe kind of in the field or wanting to get to a role such as yours?
Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Focus on yourself. Pair yourself with the right leadership that can help teach you what you need to know. So don't waste time worrying about what so-and-so is doing. Why did they get promoted quicker than you, or whatever, why do they drive a nicer truck? Whatever that is. Don't stop focusing on everybody else. Focus on yourself. And it's all the journey of you learning as much as you can, as quick as you can. And there's a lot of stuff in this business that you're only going to learn by the school of hard knocks. You can't teach it to somebody. You just have to make the mistake and then hopefully learn from it.
And not do it again.
Not do it again. I'm all about that. You make it once, that's fine. Did you learn from it? Sure. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Now you can do something else wrong.
Yeah, don't make another mistake.
Do you need reliable, high-quality service for your commercial project? Choose Carrco, the most trusted contractor in commercial painting, drywall, and floor coatings in DFW. With over 30 years of experience, Carrco delivers top-tier craftsmanship across Texas. From expert painting and seamless drywall and durable floor coatings, we handle it all, on time and on budget. Transform your space with the professionals at Carrco. Visit carcopainting.com today. Carrco, where quality meets reliability.
Some things that you're passionate about in your job.
That's the people side of it.
Okay.
So the way we're set up is the org chart. Doug handles operations side of things and most of the financial stuff. We're both in the financial side, but mostly those are his strong suits. Mine are the sales, business development, and pre-construction side of things. Being able to just remove roadblocks, one of our core values, servant leadership. I mean, you can define that a million different ways. I choose to define it as I've been put here to remove roadblocks for you to be successful. So then you just talk about, hey, what's keeping you back? What are your challenges? What are your hardships? What training can I get you? What critical conversations do you need to have, and can I help you understand how to have those? Just the little things, but it's being passionate about the people and understanding their family and their family constraints. And had one of our young estimators went running out of the office last Thursday because he thought his wife was having their first baby. It wasn't the case. It was a false alarm, but we all got so excited for him, you know. But yeah, it's the people side of our business. And then I do a terrible job at this. I need to do a better job of getting out the job sites. Our field guys, that's our number one salesperson, right?
Yep.
And they know that, but that needs to be reinforced. And just go and take them to lunch, walk in the job. I get so busy with the day-to-day minutia that we have to mess with. I sometimes forget, hey, you know what? We're in the construction business. I should go out on a job site. Put some boots on.
Yep. Put some jeans and boots on.
Right.
Yeah. Our people and culture department, otherwise known as HR, has done a really good job this year. And I think they've been out to job sites like maybe 4 or 5 times already this year. And they've just done like a breakfast or a lunch or something for the workers on the job sites. And then sometimes there's been like a little award or something that has, kind of played in with it. But, to us, it's like, well, it's just breakfast. Aren't they going to eat breakfast on their way in? But on the bigger scope, it's, hey, like, we took the time to put this together, to bring something out to you. And I really think it means something for the people out in the field.
It's a touch, right? And I mean, one thing we do okay at this, but we get so focused on hitting milestones on these projects, you forget about. So the topping out parties used to be a big thing, right? The minute your building goes vertical and you hang that first or that last piece of steel, shut the job down and have a big catered lunch. And if you do that and you partner with your trade partners on the job site, you can actually do something really cool with lots of cool raffles. And it doesn't have to be an expensive lunch. Nobody really cares. It's just the fact that they get together and fellowship, and those guys give each other a hard time. I mean, they're always picking at each other, but
and they're so excited to come home with a new drill or a grill or a TV or So, and it's nice to see. I mean, they work hard out there. They're out in the cold. They're out in the heat. We're in an air conditioned office every day, so they really need to get more credit. I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
What are some of your future goals?
Wow. I have a list of them, and they're written down, because if they don't get written down, they're not going to happen. But the main focus right now is growing the business. Talk about the business side first. So the way we've done this is, we started off, and anybody that would answer the phone, we'd build whatever. I used to say, I'll build you a doghouse if you pay for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it quickly went into some smaller renovation stuff, and then I guess 3-story dormitory was our first big job. So that would have been higher ed, and but my fastball was always office and industrial.
Okay.
And quickly, we got some notoriety for doing some smaller stuff, and then we got some ground up stuff, and then that kind of, so that, those two business divisions, if you would, were the first two. And then we called higher ed, kind of merged it into institutional. So the higher ed, the private K through 12, and the worship kind of lived together. And you got the commercial, which is office, industrial, automotive dealerships, that type of stuff. The next one was healthcare. And you know as well as I do, healthcare is not the easiest one to get into. That's a technical medical office building, okay. But ASC, ambulatory surgery center, is a whole different ballgame, right? So we finally got some momentum in that. David Hudson's doing a knockdown job building that group. And so then the next one was what we're calling corporate services, because we're not creative enough to come up with a good name. But these are customers that, and I can't say their names, but giant global corporations that have these plants or these that need multiple different types of construction work. So they may hire me to go do a finish out in their locker room and their exercise room or their office space or whatever. At the same time, I'm on their plant floor building a substation out for their new chip line that's coming out.
Interesting.
So it's just kind of a one-stop shop for those guys. And then that's taken off really quick too.
That's
so
nice.
we've got 3 customers, big customers, and Jason's doing a great job with that. Jason Hathaway growing that. And so that's kind of the plan with the business is to keep, they're always, I'm not going to say by accident, but it's kind of like the opportunity presents itself. Well, I didn't even think about that. And it just, boom, you have the one job and it's enough to plant your flag and say, all right, we're going to focus on this. And so I know there's 2 right now that we're flirting with. I'm not going to throw it out there, but so at the end of the day, 10, 20 years down the road, we've got 10 to 12, 15 of these operating groups. And what that does is it creates leadership opportunities for guys and gals coming up. So, because there's got to be a project executive that runs that group, right? So as we form a new group, then that's going to provide an opportunity for somebody to move up into that spot. And in a perfect world, each one of those groups would have their own estimating team.
Nice.
That's been kind of tough to unpack so far, but I think eventually it'll happen.
Okay. Nice.
We've got a group of talented pre-con guys, and I'm impressed with them. But with that comes overhead, right? So each group's got to have their own G&A, and so maybe we can unlock that puzzle at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to have goals like that.
Then personal. So the wife and I recently decided that we were going to travel a lot.
Okay.
She has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder where her joints deteriorate quicker than normal.
Oh.
So we've been told that multiple joint replacements are in our future. Can't give a timeline on it, right? So she just had her first hip replacement at 46.
What's your wife's name?
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like, all right, this condition's not going to do well with cobblestone streets and lots of stairs. So we've been taking lots of trips when we can. Whatever we can afford to do with time and the family, we're doing it. So we've got a handful of trips coming up.
So what's next?
Croatia's next.
You know what? I feel like there's like 5 people that I know of that this year they all went to Croatia.
Totally random.
Apparently, I didn't get the memo.
It wasn't on the list. And we were going to go to Israel. This is the second summer in a row we were going to try to go to Israel. And our church waived the trip off officially. So we were kind of left with a gap. And had a buddy out of Houston say, hey, we're going to go to Croatia. You and Ginger want to go? I said, sure. Why not?
That's cool.
We spoke Croatian.
Yeah.
So we're going to try that and see. And they travel different than we do. So the only plan that we have, other than plane tickets and a place to stay in both cities, we have 1 dinner reservation. Everything else is just
what are we going to do? Okay. And is that like what you do or what they do?
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
I got to have a plan.
Okay.
So this is way outside my comfort zone.
So I used to have like an hour by hour plan type of vacation. And then now it's like, I want to do this one big thing. And so we'll have like, not big thing, but it's like, we'll have to go to this one museum. If we spend an hour, 30 minutes, 8 hours, but we're going to go hit the museum. Other than that, we can go do whatever we want. So
I don't need a vacation from my vacation when I get back, right? So the minute by minute's not going to work either, but at least I have stuff and pre-tickets bought, people pre-bought tickets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Croatia, and then where?
This is a family trip for World War II history.
Okay.
So this is just, and my kids aren't going on any of these, by the way.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
When I say family, it's my mom and dad.
Okay.
So it's France and Germany, and we're not doing the Eiffel Tower thing. We're not doing any of that stuff. It's truly World War II history,
Okay.
and then it culminates in Munich during Oktoberfest. So
Oh, nice.
we'll have to hit that up a little bit.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. I hate to hear that about your wife. I'm glad that you're doing something fun though in the.
Well, she's my partner in crime. So
Yeah.
we're extremely tight, and I've seen it over my career. When their kids grow up and they become empty nesters, they don't know each other.
Mm-hmm.
We serve in a premarital ministry at our church.
Oh, that's
City,
nice.
City Bridge Church, Plano, plug there. So that happens on Monday nights, and it's seriously dating couples or engaged couples, and it's an 8-week curriculum that just kind of walks them through asking the difficult questions. Where are we going to spend Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like that, right? What are your expectations in this? And forcing them to have these conversations. And we have a blast doing it, so that kind of became our date night.
Oh,
And
nice.
so when Merge is not on, we keep Monday night carved out as date night. Like tonight, we'll go
Nice.
somewhere.
Nice.
And sometimes it's nothing, and sometimes we're spending the entire evening with both of our calendars trying to figure out, coordinating stuff. But bottom line is we're spending time together.
How long have you guys been married?
We'll be 24 years in August.
Yeah. Will and I will be 21 years here in just a couple weeks.
Goes quick.
So, yeah, it does. It's like, wait, we were just in college 5 minutes ago.
I'm planning our 25th wedding anniversary, and she's irritated because I won't tell her anything about it.
Oh, top secret. That means it better be good then.
That'd be cool.
What's the biggest struggle that you're having right now in the industry, and how are you tackling it?
Okay, good question. So we all hear it. It's people. It's finding the right people that fit your culture. And there's companies all over town that talk about how awesome their culture is. I just got to say that we really live those 5 core values. I mean, they're plastered on the walls in the conference rooms. We talk about them in all of our RFP responses. They come up in meetings. I have a monthly executive meeting where I have basically director levels and up in there, and we have an agenda. And we lead off with the core values. Anybody got a story about a core value where they witnessed it? We get the core value awards out at every company function, and that's a voted deal with everybody. The challenge is I can come into an interview and I can sell you a bill of goods. You don't really know who I am.
Yeah, you only get an hour with this person.
Until I get started, and then the proof's in the pudding. At some point, he or she is going to be a fit, or man, we screwed up there. Where did we go wrong?
Yep.
So we started doing. There's a couple things we started doing. So the first interview is going to be me, Doug, or James, or all 3 of us.
Okay.
And the entire hour is spent us talking about our core values.
Okay.
So that individual is going to understand, hey, that's a non-negotiable. You may be the best XYZ in town, but if you don't fit these 5 core values, there's the door. I'll write you a reference letter. So the second interview is when we bring some more people in, and they won't see me or Doug or James. They might see James a little bit, but they start talking. I want them to hear the same thing from those project executives or from those leaders. And then we'll bring some other people in there. I just want them to talk and understand. And then we'll all get together and say, okay, yes, no. Well, kind of. Well, that doesn't work. So it's either a yes or no. And so that's helped. And then we started doing the culture index. You familiar with culture index?
No, I'm not, and I wanted to hear more about it. You put it on your notes.
Okay, I'm going to totally butcher this because like our consultant, Jason, is an expert in this stuff. He's probably got a psychology degree. That's not an insult to him. I'm just saying the way he understands the human mind. But it's basically pull up a web page and it's got 225 or 230 adjectives and it says describe yourself. So you click on all the adjectives that describe yourself. And you click submit. And you're like, man, sweet, I'm done. And then it says, all right, describe yourself at work. It's the same words, but they're jumbled. And so what Culture Index does, it spits out a report. We call it the dots. And so you have, oh God, I don't remember how many dots are on it. But anyway, each dot has a specific thing that's tells you how you were wired since you were 12 or 13 years old.
Interesting.
And so what it does is it helps you understand how to communicate, and also helps you understand how your brain's wired to receive communication.
Okay.
So like I'm an emotional listener. I've always been that way. I'm very familiar. I know that very much. I have to be very intentional about not when I hear you tell me something that you're not coming at me.
Okay.
Or I get defensive and build up a wall. Yeah, I got to go. Okay, hang on. She's not coming at you. She's just. So this this survey, when I launched it, I called it a test and it freaked everybody out.
Right.
We're getting fired. We're going to fail this test. No, it's just it. And so what we've done, so that we rolled it out last month, had a company-wide meeting where we brought Jason, our consultant, in, and he walked through, everybody had their own dots, and he walked through what those dots mean. And he picked on a couple people, and mainly me, but I'm what they call an architect.
Okay.
And it just means that I've got a lot of gas, not a whole lot of brake, and a lot of logic. I have an energy unit of 67, which means my mind never turns off. The average person, I think, is somewhere between 20 and 40.
Okay.
And when I crash, I crash. But my mind's always going. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's not. So then what we did, we determined, so when we win a new project, this is just getting rolled out, we're going to have a culture index launch. So everybody on that project is going to touch it. Administrative professionals, accounting, CFO, COO, project manager, superintendent, all those people, the team, we're going to get together and we're going to talk about how each other's wired. So when you have communication with each other, I know, okay, with Andrea, she's a little more sensitive to what she hears. So I can't just say, bam, because you're going to get either insulted, your feelings are going to get hurt, or you're going to shut down. I have to spin the message a different way to you. So it's to try to help everybody be self-aware and aware of their team. Empathy, which is a word that I struggle with, be empathetic to their teammates, put themselves in their shoes, right? So the grand picture in this is rolling this out across the entire project team. So I've got the owner, I've got the architect, I've got my team in there, and we get real touchy-feely. Start talking about feelings and how we're wired. And it's a total theory, but I think it's gonna kill it.
That's really interesting. So right before Christmas, we had Norma Lehman come in and do the Strengths Finders training with us. And then I started a book club here at Carrco for like professional leadership types of things. And so everything is getting related back to our top 5 strengths. So we know in theory, and if you noticed when I showed you around, everybody has a nameplate and it has their top 3 strengths on it.
We're going to do the same thing with the culture index.
So in theory, you could stop and read and then have the conversation before you go into the office or go into that conversation. And so what's kind of cool is we have read 2 books now with book club. And so the first book we read, then Norma came in and related that book all about our strengths. And then we just finished our second book. And so she's coming in next month to really relate that book back to Strengths Finders and how we can use it.
Very nice.
So I've used Strengths Finders for years, and I think it's just fascinating. And so everybody has to buy into it. But
well, yeah, and I think our team's buying into it. But similar to what you just said, we're going to put our dots on our nameplates. And it's not yet; it's too new. But at some point, everybody's going to walk up and go, "Oh, that's a so and so. I got to."
Yep.
I mean, let me go get a cup of coffee and figure out how I'm going to pitch this and come back. Right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's different, and if you go about it the wrong way, it's going to fail. Or if you just change the sentence, just a little bit, it could be a huge success.
And then out of those meetings, we'll come up with what we call conditions of satisfaction. So what's important to you on a successful project is going to be different than her, different than me, right?
Yeah.
Come up with this conditions of satisfaction matrix, and then we're going to check in on it. Call it every other month in the OAC. Are these being met?
Oh, I like that.
If not, why not? What can we do to change to make your life easier? Or you can ask me the same question. Right? So
that's really interesting.
Accountability tool.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so some personal stuff. What are some of your hobbies outside of work?
If it flies, I like to shoot at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to hunt. I love anything firearms. Fly fish. My middle son competitively bass fishes for his high school team.
Okay.
So we're on the boat a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, he came to me last year and said that he really wanted me to captain him because he knew I would put the time in with him to go learn these lakes and understand the art of fishing, which I did. And so, yeah, I had to buy a bass boat. It's a much older bass boat, but it works. So we spend a lot of time fishing. In the summer, there's Thursday night tournaments out at Levon. It's called the Working Man's Tournament.
I had no clue there's such a thing.
It's 5 to 9 p.m. on Thursdays. It's cash pot. It's fun. So there's the fishing, cooking. anything that has to do with a smoker or grill, or, I mean, I was just in Hico this last weekend for the Texas State Cook-Off. It's just,
Okay.
I love to compete in cooking.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm really good, and sometimes I just totally miss the boat and don't bring home any hardware, but have a good time doing it. Touchdown Club, I'll touch on that here in a second, but me and a handful of guys founded their rib cook-off event a little over 10 years.
Go ahead and talk about it now. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Touchdown Club. So Touchdown Club is a group of men that raises money for the Ashford Rise School of Dallas. Ashford Rise School of Dallas is in the Park Cities YMCA. We have a wing there.
Uh-huh.
And it's a preschool for children with developmental disabilities.
Oh, okay.
What's cool about their model is that a typical child can go there too. It's preschool, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
But it's just got the different tools and toys that are made for developmental disabilities. So if you had two kids and one of them, say, had Down syndrome and the other one did not, but you still want them to go to preschool together, they can go to preschool
Oh,
together.
nice.
So we raise money to offset tuition. It's very expensive to send your child there without our help, but always looking for new ways to raise money. And so we went down to Hico one year, however many years ago that was, and my friend Jeff Papman was looking around, and he said, "Man, we could do this for the Touchdown Club." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. You sure can we pull it off?" So we secured a sponsorship with some smoker maker, and they delivered a whole bunch of those little bullet smokers, the cheapy ones that you buy at Walmart. And a bunch of guys out in the parking lot putting these things together.
So that's what everyone had to use.
Not everybody, but if
Okay.
they didn't have a smoker, we said, we'll hook you up, right?
Okay.
So they start firing these things up. You're smelling paint burning off these things. I mean, it was, but we broke even that first year.
Okay.
And we had a blast. And it's just taken off from there. So now we hold it at Fair Park. And
Oh, nice.
it's in the, where are we? Yeah, it's in the spring. Yeah, it was during spring break. I missed it this year. But yeah, so that's cooking, passion.
Nice.
Put it into something you're passionate about. And
Nice.
that's what you get.
That's cool. That's really cool. Let's see. Do you have a defining moment or a philosophy that you live by?
It goes along with my favorite quote.
Okay.
So if I butcher this, my pledge trainer from 1994 will kill me, but it's Calvin Coolidge, his quote of persistence. Persistence, nothing in the world could take the place of persistence. Talent will not. The world is full of unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, press on, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Calvin Coolidge, Amherst College, 1894.
Okay.
So persistence.
Yeah.
Don't give up. If you got to go through the wall, go through the wall. If you got to go around the wall, go around the wall. But just get to the other side of the wall.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Who or what inspires you the most?
To be corny for a second, or to come across as my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Right. So my goal is to spend time with Him every day in the Word. I fail that often, but I figure if you could just the taboo, what would Jesus do? If you could, before you make a decision or before you talk to somebody, before you talk about somebody, hey, is this the right thing to do? And just always ask your question that, and then just cover yourself in prayer. And ask other people to pray for you. You know, I mean, prayer is powerful.
Do you go to Dream?
I have been. I'm not always there.
I've never been, and I'm going. I think it's next week or something.
Okay.
I somehow heard about it and never took the time to find out when is it, who's involved, all the things.
Right. You always get a good testimony out of somebody.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I think it's next week, so it'll be my first one to go to.
The only reason your little car will be just fine, but I can't fit in any of the parking garages down there.
Yeah.
So I have to find. It's very inconvenient for me to park.
Yeah. Anything bigger than an SUV. I mean,
Exactly.
sometimes you feel like in SUVs you can barely fit into some of these parking garages. Yeah.
I get parking garage anxiety.
No, that parking garage I feel like my car is too big for that. And so that tells anybody how tight that parking garage is. Okay, so quick fire round,
Quick fire.
which I never do quick fire because I want to ask more questions. But you mentioned it right before we started. But the last book that you read.
Traction. So that's, don't get me trying to quote the author's name, but he's big on the EOS system. And I was told that the way we operate has a lot of similarities, so I was just curious on it. So I read it.
Yeah.
Rainmaker's another good one that came to mind when I started
That
thinking
is a
about
good
it.
one.
But then you go fiction.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Tell us about the fictional book.
Yes. James Reese is the character. Jack Carr is the author. It's not his real name. That's his author name. But he's out of Park Cities, Utah. And he's obviously got some real life experience with whether it was special forces or working for the State Department or something. The things that he talks about, he's too knowledgeable. But yeah, it's a story of a Green Beret Navy SEAL that was issued a experimental medicine to help with traumatic brain injuries and post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD. And they found out that it was causing these tumors. And so the government, to cover it up, staged a deal that blew up his whole team.
Oh.
And he and one other guy, I think, were the only ones that survived. So this was the first book called The Terminal List.
Okay.
So the Terminal List is him making a list of everybody that had something to do with this. As he uncovers more and more and more, the list goes deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And so, yeah, he ends up terminating all these people.
Interesting.
So that's one.
Okay.
And there's 7 total.
Okay.
And this last book, which I'm pretty sure had to have been the last one the way it ended.
Don't give it away.
I'm not. It starts getting into artificial intelligence and quantum computing and things that we're reading about now.
Interesting. Okay.
And Alice is the quantum computer that will only communicate with James Reese. And
Okay.
it's just awesome.
Okay.
So seriously, read it great or listen to it.
Okay.
Like I told you earlier, you'll be in Florida before you know it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You already gave your favorite quote. So we're gonna skip that one. What is a skill you would like to learn?
I can play a little guitar,
Okay.
but it's nowhere near what I would like it to be.
So it's been probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I've been talking about learning how to play the guitar forever. And so we were out of town during Thanksgiving, and I looked up a place, and I'm like, I don't know, do I really want to do it? And we went, boop, like you just buy now. So I signed up for guitar lessons. So I committed to 6 months. I was like, I don't need to become a rock star. I've been talking about it for 10 years. So I did like 6 months worth of lessons, and it was a lot of fun.
Did you stick with it?
6 months was good for me. Like, I'm normally like the person who, if I learn how to do it, then I need to become the expert at it. And I knew I didn't have the time but I wanted to learn some basics. And so it's fun because like my whole playlist for like a year was like, it just kind of like old music that I would listen to with my dad, and then I could just like learn how to play it on the guitar. So that was fun. Yeah. So that was fun. So you should like take some formal lessons. And
I did as a kid.
Yeah.
And 2 of my 3 kids are extremely musical. The oldest boy, he was a very talented drummer. He doesn't play anymore, which I hate, but taught himself how to play bass guitar, taught himself how to play keys. And then my daughter actually just had her recital Saturday. She played piano, man, both the piano and the harmonica, and sang.
Oh, wow.
And she nailed it.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't think my brain can do 3 things.
It's pretty cool.
Musically.
She did awesome.
That's cool. That's really neat.
Other skills, I don't know. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, just not an expert at any.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you about the guitar next time I see you.
You got
it. Have you picked it up yet? Have you again?
I'll pick them up all the time.
What's the favorite city you have visited?
Andrea, I've been blessed to be able to see a lot of cool stuff. One
That's nice.
that kind of sticks out to me is Assisi, Italy.
Okay.
I went there in high school on a trip with my school. It's where the Franciscan monks originated. I believe I remember that correctly. And it's kind of carved out of a mountainside.
That's neat.
And I remember going up to the monastery for a tour, and the guy that answered the door that was our tour guide was a monk, African-American man named Frank from San Antonio.
Okay. Not at all what you were expecting.
Not at all what I was expecting. Ginger and I did Greece recently. Athens was a phenomenal town, vibrant, cheap. People were friendly, safe. Food was phenomenal.
Nice.
And that trip ended up in Santorini. That was not much on the town, just the actual setting of being on that volcano rim, and the everything's white, with blue roofs, and just cool.
Yeah. I think I need to add it to my list.
You should.
Because I hear lots of people and I see pictures and I'm like, if it looks this good in a picture, you can only imagine in person.
That was a church trip, mind you. So
Oh, nice.
instead of going to Israel to walk where Jesus walked, we did retracing the footsteps of Paul.
Oh.
And so we did, God, I can't remember what all islands we did. We started out in Athens, and then we got on a cruise ship and island hopped to different places
That's interesting.
that are talked about in Paul's travels.
Oh,
And
that's neat.
And then so that trip ended. The last day of the trip was a quick stop on Santorini, and then the group got back on the cruise ship and went back to Athens. They flew home. Ginger and I stayed for 4 nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
cool.
That is cool.
Some of the best food I've ever had.
Nice. Nice. What's the favorite construction project that you have been a part of?
So one of my favorites was 2006, Denbury Resources headquarters. It was the first one, 5160 Tennyson Parkway. That's where I met my good close friend Zach Edwards. He was an architect, young architect in Gensler, and I was a seasoned project engineer at that time. I wasn't quite a project manager, and we went to battle together. You know, not against each other, but together, and got that thing. Now, he had a crazy aggressive schedule on it, so it was a cool building. But yeah, I got to meet Zach. I also met Jerry Fitzpatrick on that job. We became friends too. But Alliance Bank, which is 121 in Stacy-ish.
Okay.
It's 4-story up and 1-story down. That was my last job as a project manager. The only structural concrete job I've ever done. Everything up to that point had been slab on grade or steel structure or precast. I'd never done a structural concrete job. So a lot of fun, a lot to learn, and had a young man working with me named Kyle Martin on that job. And Kyle's still a stud to this day. He's still over at Hill and Wilkinson, but he kept me out of the ditch. Doing all the technical stuff. But yeah, Alliance was a good one. We became friends, personal friends with the owners of the building, the Oliver family out of Oklahoma City. Still keep in touch with the son. So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's a piece of advice you have for someone just starting out in the industry?
Back to what I said earlier, stop worrying about what other people are doing. But yeah, stay focused. Don't let distractions get in your way. The things that aren't important. And being young, you're going to have trouble kind of navigating that. But kind of like our internship program, we have anywhere from 8 to 12 every summer, and I make it a point to go to lunch with them. Just ask me anything, and just surround yourself with the right people.
Nice.
And then get involved. I mean, we're all blessed to be in this business, especially in North Texas. Go give back. You don't have to write a check. Don't just give with your time. And that's the latest ones. So I mentioned Touchdown Club earlier. We've got State Fair of Texas, the Chairman's Task Force. Nobody knows it. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but the fair is actually a 501c3. So it's a not-for-profit organization. Task Force raises money for the youth livestock scholarships that get seeded throughout the state. In addition to the livestock team that puts together the big livestock auction where they're selling a 6-figure steer. So together with those guys, so the clay shoot we just wrapped up, we're north of $300,000 what we raised on that. But yeah, it's all just refueling that livestock scholarship money.
Nice.
And it's a lot of fun. And people from all different walks. I mean, it's not just a real estate deal.
Right.
Just all kinds of interesting people.
One of the things you had on your notes was you wanted to talk about trade partner relationships.
Yeah. So growing up in the business, it was always the superintendent is in the field and he's telling the subcontractors how they're going to do their job. Throwing hard hats, and not all superintendents. I'm being facetious there, but that superintendent was the Hefe on the job site. It was his way. You were going to do it the way he wanted to do it. He would put the 6-week schedule together. Well, the thought here is that let the trade partners instead of subcontractors. You're hearing that term a lot more. I'm not real sure if it's fake or real, but let the trades. They're the experts in their world, right? Get these guys together and let them collaborate and come up with the best way to achieve the end goal. The superintendent becomes a facilitator. So with our last planner system that we use on our job sites, it's a 15-foot dry erase board that's pre-stenciled, and it's basically a 3-week look ahead. And the trades write their own tasks in. If the task takes more than 3 weeks, then you need to break it down even further. Each trade gets their own color, so they know who's who. And every morning, that meeting where they populate that board, that happens on Fridays, typically. And then every morning after the job site gets opened up and the foremen get their guys lined out, they come in for a quick, we call it the huddle. And they update, because they've got manpower on there too, so they're updating, hey, did you have your 8 men in area A yesterday doing this? No. How many did you have? I had 6. So what do you need from us? You need to call the office and need more men in area A, or are you up ahead of schedule and you move those 2 guys somewhere else? So these guys are, all my superintendent's doing is asking questions. And
Communicating.
And the trades are holding each other accountable. So it's been kind of a neat deal to watch.
That is neat.
And it's not perfect yet, but it's way different than what we've always done.
I like that. I feel like we should have like lunch or something, and like your superintendent people talk to our, which we're on jobs with you guys. So
Right.
we're probably doing it. I just don't.
Will probably saw it out at Heath the other day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm glad we can go more in depth on that off camera. I can take you to a job site, show you how that works. But
Yeah.
just a little different way of looking at it.
I like that. That sounds really interesting. Another thing you mentioned was the last planner system. That's that.
Yeah, last
Okay,
planner
okay.
system, and you keep in mind, this is not anything that we've patented. It's not even all our ideas. It's just kind of evolved over time. But there's other contractors that use them. But we put the stencils out on the internet. If you want them, go get them.
You know what? That's right. Because I went to an ASA event, and Jim, he was like, "Yeah, just go on. Here's where it's at." And I'm like, "That's really nice. He's sharing that with
The only
everybody."
thing we trademarked
That's
in
right.
that whole process was our tagline of 1 team, 1 goal.
Ah,
That's the only thing we put a little R on.
Uh-huh.
Everything else, go get it. That's why I
Yeah.
put it on YouTube for just go.
that's right. Because I've watched this.
They're terrible. Only because I'm in one of them. No, they're great videos, and they're very, it breaks down the last planner system to very elementary, so anybody can understand it. And then we turned around and produced it in Spanish too.
Oh, nice.
And so me speaking in Spanish,
Are you speaking
I'm
in Spanish?
dubbed over. It's hilarious. It's like the old kung fu movies.
Oh boy. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about?
All right, so talking about my kids again.
Okay.
So one thing I did with my kids, this was kind of an accidental thing. There's a group called High Adventure Treks. They go by HATS for short,
Okay.
and they're based out of Richardson. It was founded by a guy named Kip Murray, who had a daughter. Kip, don't butcher me if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've got it right. Had a daughter that was in Girl Scouts, and the challenge levels weren't there. They were selling
No.
cookies. They were selling,
Yes.
arts and crafts, and he wanted his daughter to experience the same thing the Boy Scouts got.
Yeah.
So he launched this High Adventure Treks thing. It starts 4th grade, and it's 2 campouts a year.
Okay.
The 4th grade campouts are just really games. I mean, just trying to
Okay.
keep the kids, and it's for dads and daughters, dads and daughters, dads and sons,
Nice.
separate weekends.
Uh-huh.
And it goes from the games to canoeing instructional weekend to an actual float trip down the Brazos to a kayak instructional weekend to an actual kayak float trip down the San Marcos, rock climbing, rappelling, backpacking, bushwhacking.
I would sign up for that.
But
I
it's-
did Girl Scouts for like 6 months, and I was like, this is not what I want to
Right.
do.
No, so this is legit, right?
That's
And so
cool.
the program culminates, starts in 4th grade, and then the last camp out is a 10-day trip to Colorado. And so, and some of that's acclimating up there, right? So you meet in Dumas, Texas, and then you go to, wherever the Sand Dunes Park is. I can't think of the name of the town, but, and you end up at this, it's basically a summer camp, and you got high ropes, low ropes, staying in a cabin, not air conditioned, but it's cool enough, doesn't matter. And then 3 of those days is an actual backpack trip. So you go do a peak ascent to a 13er,
That's cool.
and then come off the mountain, get back into camp, shower, pack up, and then we do whitewater rafting, and then the trip's over.
That's cool.
So I always take my kids to go do a fly fishing trip. while we're up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, that's
So
neat.
I'll do the Colorado trip with Aubrey next summer.
Okay.
So a little over a year from now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really neat.
So HATS is also a nonprofit, and so we do an annual fundraiser where it's a big, your traditional banquet type deal.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got dads or families that donate equipment and
Uh-huh.
funds for equipment, because that, good camping equipment's not cheap.
Yeah. There's a lady that in my old neighborhood who ran a Girl Scout troop that was super cool. Not like the arts and crafts like you hear about. And so on occasion she'll post on Facebook, we're looking for 4 more backpacks for whatever. And like I'm digging through my stuff.
Right.
Like, do I have a backpack that this little girl could borrow? You know, so. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I feel like I've got to know you way more than just the, networking. Hey, how are everything going?
It's always quick, right?
Yeah, it's always quick. So I feel like I know you a lot more now. So this was good, and I really appreciate you for being on the show today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for doing a wonderful job and making me feel at ease.
Good. And that's it.